Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 165. Today's date is November 27th, 2022, and I am Duds or Duds versus known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I am Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
It's been a very productive week for me.
Oh, good.
Not just in Minecraft, in real life. I'm going to start with my non-Minecraft week, because I took the week off work. We were already going to have Thursday and Friday off for Thanksgiving. So I took Monday through Wednesday off. So I've had a whole week to myself.
Using those vacation days?
I worked my butt off those days. I'm one of those that just can't sit around and not do anything. I say that as I've been known to nap in the afternoons on Saturday. But clean the gutters, raked all the leaves, oil changed my car, tried to fix my air conditioning. My car doesn't have AC anymore.
Oh, no.
Which everyone's like, well, it's November, that's not that big of a deal. I live in the South, so we're still hitting 75 degrees Fahrenheit, sometimes 80 on the random day.
Jeez.
Not to mention it does get to like 20 degrees at night, so there's a huge gap of temperature difference, which is why I sound like this all the time.
Yeah, we're lucky to hit 50 in Ohio right now.
Yeah, today's actually, I think, going to be 65 degrees.
Yeah, I think we actually hit 60 barely. Maybe just under 60 yesterday. It was pretty decent.
Yeah. But anyways, this issue with the car, this isn't the first time. This happened in the spring, and my car's under warranty. I bought the extended warranty. I'm that guy. Because I knew something was going to come up on this car that I didn't want to have to pay out of pocket. So I bought the extended warranty. Covers everything, bumper to bumper. I could have a mirror fall off the side of the car, and it would get covered. So I take it to the Ford dealership. They say, well, there's nothing wrong with the car other than it's low on Freon, and that's not covered under warranty.
What?
I go, the car's 4 years old. How is it low on Freon?
And that's between the bumpers.
Exactly. It's like, cars don't just become low on Freon within 4 years. Yeah, if this was a 15-year-old car, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And putting that Freon in, there's certain steps you got to do. You got to get your numbers just right, or it can like wreck the whole thing.
It cost me $150 out of pocket for them to put Freon in my car.
Which is crazy because it's just a substance, but there's like, I don't know, because there's certain numbers and the right person's got to do it.
Yep.
They can charge a little more.
I was like, whatever. And now this week, all the Freon's gone out of my car again.
Oh, no.
So when I said it can't be a leak, and they said, yeah, it cannot be a leak, you're just low. To lose that much Freon in 9 months, sounds to me like there's a leak.
Yeah.
So I called them up and I was like, hey, you guys charged me $150 to fix something that should have been covered under warranty. Oh, we can't fix it till December 13th. And even then we can only look at it.
That's weird.
I'm just like, you guys are killing me here. So yeah, I have no air in my car. So I'm hoping for cooler days because the heat works just fine. If we can keep some cold days around here, I'll be all right.
Yeah, my truck, the AC doesn't work in my truck. I use my work truck. And I tried the whole Freon thing. I was like, I YouTubed it. I found the part in my car that I have to mess with, the AC tubes or whatever.
Yeah.
Pipes. It hooked up to it and everything, the Freon that I bought. And there's a little meter on the end of the bottle that gives you your numbers.
Yeah.
And I was sitting perfect at the number that I needed already. So I tried to take some out and put some in to get the number back. And I did all that. Still didn't work. So it must have been wrecked. But yeah, you can YouTube it, figure out how to do it from home. But if there's a leak, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, I know how to do it. I brought it in there because I was 100% sure there was a leak.
Mm-hmm.
And then they told me there wasn't a leak. And now it turns out there's a leak. So it basically, they didn't want to do something on warranty work. They wanted to charge me for something. And so they did the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And then charged me $100-some for it.
Because if they fix a leak, it'd be free.
Yep. So now I'm going over to my dad's house next week. And we're going to find the leak. And I'm going to draw a big circle over it.
Yeah.
So they can fix it. I hate having to do 90% of their work for them. But it seems like that's what it's going to take. Anyways, Minecraft news. I built a villager breeding farm, the one from Logical Geek Boy. That farm's so good. It's such a simple farm too.
I don't think I've built that one.
You've had to have built this one. It's a couple years old, and it's like creme de la creme of villager breeding farms because it's so simple to build.
I don't think I've built a villager farm since my Prismarine Mountain.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been quite a few years. Maybe even longer. Usually when I play, it's multiplayer, so there's villagers, everyone's got a breeder.
This is true. I was going to say, Ripple Season 4, you just kind of took those villagers from the village I was using.
Yeah.
Because I left like half of them there.
Yeah, you and Croc, I grabbed villagers, transferred them over to the iron farm, and then I would breed some there, but I didn't make like a breeder. So you're getting good rates with that one?
Dude, it's awesome. It's a 9x9 carrot field with one composter in the middle, because I think they have to be able to, at least one of them has to be able to work to breed.
Okay.
Got all that built. There's a trapdoor section with some beds hidden behind the trapdoors. The babies, when they get born, they like to go jump on the beds. So they'll run through this trapdoor section to go jump on the beds. Turns out the trapdoor section's a pit. So they fall into the pit instead of running onto the bed.
Safely into water.
Into water.
Of course.
The water pushes them 7 blocks to where they get up on top of a wall. And then there's water above that wall. So whenever they grow up, their head now becomes in water. And the water will lift them, or they'll swim up out of the water. And that pushes them into the adult-sized holding cell.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a little contraption with some minecarts back there. So a dispenser will dispense a minecart. Well, when I push a button, it'll dispense a minecart, grab a single villager, and pull them out of the cell without having to break anything.
Nice.
Very cool. I love the whole section. I mean, the second I put 2 villagers in there, I turned it on, because you can put a piston to block the beds and stuff, so you can turn the farm on and off. So I turned the farm on, and I'm talking 30 seconds, there's a baby.
Wow.
So flip that lever back off, watch to make sure it would grow up in the water stream and go to the correct holding cell, and it did. It worked perfect. All I had to really do was decorate the darn thing. I'm really happy with how this room came out. I used moss for the ceiling. I've got glow berries hanging everywhere. Dark oak, tiled deep slate. Very rich and earthy colors, and I liked it.
Lush.
It is very lush.
Now, when you turn it off, do you break the sight of the beds?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, if the 2 adult villagers cannot think they can get to the beds, then they won't breed.
Right. That's what I thought. I wasn't too sure. Been a while since I made one.
Yeah. I was just thinking about the My Own Survival World, and I went to go see how I was breeding villagers on there. And because this world's older, Logic's villager breeder farm was not created yet. And I literally just have this giant 3 fence high pen with villagers in it that I just kind of was throwing bread at with a bunch of random beds. There's no efficiency in this at all. I'm just like, eat the bread, make a baby.
Yeah.
Oh God, Carl's going to make that the title of this episode.
That's where babies come from.
That's where babies come from.
Yeah.
But yeah, how about you? What have you been up to?
Besides Thanksgiving being this week, it's a lot of fun. Love Thanksgiving food. When you're a kid and Thanksgiving comes up, you're like, yeah, you get to see family members and, eat.
Eat.
I guess. It's not that big of a deal when you're a kid, but when you're older, man, Thanksgiving it's one of my favorites just because all the food. I ate a lot this Thanksgiving. I go to 2 different Thanksgiving dinners, so I had to pace myself on the first one. But yeah, that was a good time. And I haven't played Minecraft, but I have played Raft a little bit more. Me and my wife are still playing Raft. And this raft that we're building, I'm into building this raft at the moment. Setting up the rooms, making it efficient, because there is piping you can lay out to run water systems and fuel systems and stuff. I have a lot of fun doing that.
I've never actually seen someone run piping for fuel systems.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen people just build these really ugly looking rafts.
Most of them are pretty bad looking, but I'm going for a yacht type of look. There's a lot of stuff. The thing is, with the resources on there, they're pretty limited. You can't stock up like you could on Minecraft.
Yeah.
I can make tree farms, but I'm only getting so much wood out of these trees, and it takes time to grow again, and you're not getting the sapling output that you would with Minecraft. So, you'll run out of saplings eventually, but there's islands with trees on them that you can stop and gather this stuff. So, yeah, it takes a lot more time to get the resources you need to build. I don't know. There's always something to do because of that. Always something going on. Oh, and I lied. I did play a little bit of Minecraft because I remember you saying about the launcher. So I was trying to figure out where this launcher is for my Minecraft, the new launcher.
Oh, You mean the tabs, the buttons?
No. What do you mean? The new Minecraft launcher? Usually I pull up the Java launcher.
Oh, well, it looks just like the Java launcher.
Maybe I am using the new one. But I clicked on the other Minecraft and that gave me Bedrock. And I was curious of, the RTX because I haven't played Bedrock. So I downloaded an RTX pack. It's like a little world.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was actually done by Pearlescent Moon. And I just messed around on it for like an hour on the RTX. The RTX is so cool. I wish I could make a whole world out of it. But as of right now, it's just, I don't know, worlds that are already built on.
Well, supposedly I follow one of our guests that we had on Prowl, and he's a big Bedrock player.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm seeing in his tweets, they haven't touched RTX or the super resource pack thing that they were bragging about from years ago since they announced it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been some slight of contention for him.
Yeah, you don't hear about it anymore, really. The RTX.
No.
Yeah, I was just curious because I have my launcher up. I was like, I wonder if I can get an RTX world. But what all I saw, at least the free versions, you're just going to get a pre-made, pre-built map. It's a map, not so much a world.
Wait, so you have to buy RTX for Bedrock?
I don't know. I went to the store to get RTX. I don't know how to turn it on any other way. I didn't really look too much into it, though, so there could be a way I'm just not seeing.
What?
If I YouTube it, I'd probably find it.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a setting like shaders is.
Right, yeah. But I think there's like certain worlds that you can run RTX on. I don't know. Like I said, I could be wrong. I didn't look too much into it.
If that's the case, that's the most useless thing
Right.
Mojang's ever spent any time on.
Yeah, the world that I preloaded, which is, the pearlescent build, it's like a palace or whatever, but I had to go out into the world to do anything to make it seem like a fresh world.
No bueno.
Yeah, that's no good for the English audience. That's about my week.
We have a little note from Carl. He wrote a 2-paragraph script, guys.
Yep, bear with duds here.
Granted, it does say, feel free to reword these duds. But yeah, this is going to be our final episode this year. Carl's going to be back with the best of 2022. You guys know, come Christmas time, the month of December is usually when we get our good long break in. We have changes coming to the show's format, so keep an eye out. Patrons, we are hoping to have another public AMA? So I guess it doesn't really, I guess if you're not a patron, you can still join, but it's going to be our December half stack. Me and Carl talked about having a meeting with just patrons at some point. Patrons, keep an eye out. We have lots of background stuff happening in December, which is supposed to be our month off, but should we get into the news?
Yeah, big news.
We heard how they were changing the way we were going to get the update. We were going to get a bunch of smaller stuff, and we thought that was going to be awesome for the news segment. It's been horrible. The only news we have this week is changes to pre-release 2 for 1.19.3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just basically moving around the creative menu.
It's not even like changes, it's tweaks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing's changed all that much. Like, you're not going to see much of a difference. I mean, the creative menu in general, that big change they made, and now, just the tweaks.
Yeah, they're not moving anything around the creative menu. It's like tabbing through buttons, tooltips are displayed above or below. It's like, okay, tooltips displayed when hovering are displayed as next to the cursor. Okay. And like I said, this is nothing. There's a couple bug fixes. Villagers sometimes wouldn't close the door when they'd walk through them and stuff like that. Really nothing here.
Yeah, when I said big news, I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest news we've had, the best news we've had since Minecraft Live, probably, the upgrade with the bookshelves.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that we have 2 different bamboo wood types now. But besides that, everything's just tweaks.
Yes.
Minor tweaks.
We have 1.19 still supposedly coming out December 6th. For the life of me, I can't remember what was on 1.19.3.
Bundles. I remember that.
Is bundles in 1.19.3?
Thought so.
See, I don't know. Everything's been so jumbled. It's been hard for me to keep straight what's what.
Yeah, the fact that they're giving us 2 versions, 119.3 and then 120
Yeah.
at the same time, it's kind of hard to see which one lands where, what lands where.
So, yeah, and part of it's me. Keeping up with this stuff's been hard lately. So, yeah, that's literally the news, guys.
Mm-hmm. The news has been so small. Sometimes you miss it because it's that small,
I thought there were 3 pre-releases. So I spent 20 minutes this morning looking for pre-release 3 notes just to not find any. So if there is a 3rd pre-release, I can't find it anywhere, but I could have sworn we had 3 pre-releases.
I couldn't tell you. Really not sure.
Listener comment from Foxfire54. They say, I was listening to the latest episode and heard Duds talking about adding anglerfish. I thought, what if you could kill an anglerfish and it would drop its lure and you could use that to lure fish to you? I love the idea. Ever since they got rid of auto fishing, I say that you can still build auto fisher farms, but ever since they got rid of auto fishing, I felt that the fishing mechanic should have some depth put in. So adding lures to the game, I think is a great idea. We already have like carrot on a stick and wart fungus on a stick, so that's there.
Mm-hmm.
Adding lures, I think, would be great.
Right.
It would help with, like, the food in Minecraft is very boring. Golden carrots are the best food. Steaks up there, pork chops up there, but that's kind of it. Salmon's close to being up there.
It's good starter food.
Yeah.
Salmon.
But it'd be great if you had a lure that specifically lured salmon, since you knew that was quality food for the start. So, yeah.
Yeah, salmon, even though they're not hard to kill, they seem to move a lot. They're hard to, keep track of sometimes.
Yeah, but, it keeps you from having to run around and smack stuff with a sword when you really should be fishing with a fishing rod. There's a fishing rod in the game.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I would like fishing to get a tweak, become more useful. Because right now, it's really just kind of a visual thing. It really, you don't get a lot from it. We have fisherman villagers. No one's using the fisherman villager for fish.
Right. That's a good point. What did they give you? Like a good fishing pole? Is that like their master tier?
Oh, I don't even know what their best thing is. I know there's a string trade.
Yeah.
The string trade is basically the best thing.
Mm-hmm. I think, no, that's a Fletcher. They do sticks. That's a good trade too.
Yeah, the stick trade for Fletchers is good. But was it like in armor, trade you diamond armor? That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention they also trade iron and coal and stuff.
Yeah, things worth trading. Yeah, the fisherman village is kind of meh.
I'm literally trying to pull up this chart, and it's like, you have to verify that you're human. It's like, when did that become a thing?
Check the crosswalks.
That's what it was trying to make me do.
See, you ain't even got to tell me. I knew it.
Oh, it's so dumb.
Was it crosswalks?
It was crosswalk.
That's hilarious. What's funny is you go through those and you see one, you're like, is that a crosswalk in the background? Are they trying to trick me on this one? A robot probably couldn't get it, but a human could. And then it may or may not be a crosswalk. You just can't really see it all that clear.
So the best things that the fisherman sells is cooked salmon and enchanted fishing rod.
Yeah.
These are worthless in Minecraft nowadays.
Yeah, enchanted fishing rods would have been the best one there, but without the AFK fisher,
right,
they're not really used too often.
And trust me, now you can still build an AFK fisher.
Yeah.
They're not as simple as they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have villager trading in place, there's no point.
Right.
Villager trading's worth way more and way more robust than to sit there for an hour.
Yeah. What's funny is after getting books when fishing, you always look for that mending.
Yeah.
Did I get a mending book? And here you could get one for sure from a villager. You know you're getting one there. Yeah, there's a little bit of cost, but it's way easier.
I would like it if fishing could bring you the Swift Sneak book. Maybe not Swift Sneak 3. Maybe the best you can get is Swift Sneak 1 through fishing.
Yeah.
So there would still be a priority to go down to an ancient city, but it would give people who don't want to go down to an ancient city the ability to get around that by spending time fishing. To me, that's a great compromise. And again, it brings fishing back to Minecraft. Man, I remember when we first started playing, getting the fishing aspect set up, even if you didn't have the AFK fisher. I remember me, group of guys, we'd all be standing around the lake the first couple days just fishing whenever we weren't mining.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun social thing. Now it's, let me ban up these villagers. Take bread, make baby.
Yeah. Now it's, set up your breeder.
Yeah.
Get your villagers locked in the houses.
No, I'm not going to complain too much because the old way of getting villager trades is absolutely horrible compared to the new way. The new way is so much better. I just kind of miss fishing.
Yeah, just the curiosity of what you caught.
Yeah, the excitement. You knew you got something and you were pulling it in.
Going through the chests.
All right, thank you for that, Foxfire. Love your browser.
Next question is from KingRobert. What if Minecraft added the ability to make custom paintings in-game? Maybe Mojang could add an Artisan Table where you can take a painting and choose a size and then edit pixel by pixel with color wheel and different painting tools. I feel like this feature would make a lot of people happy, especially since it could be used for so many pranks. KingRobert has walked into a wall after seeing a painting that looks like a door.
To me, we have custom paintings in maps.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but that's there.
And you got to actually, labor intensive to make these map arts for paintings. Like you're not just putting a color pixel down, it's a block or a carpet.
Yeah.
Whichever one you want to use.
I prefer the custom map way because the juice is worth the squeeze, especially in a prank.
Yeah.
I would like better and more paintings than what we have. That's for sure.
Yeah, I would like a custom map that could give you that quality, or a custom painting that give you the quality of a custom map.
Yeah.
Like you could have every pixel available that you would use in a map on a painting. It would make it a lot faster instead of, going out, gathering the resources, getting those unique blocks that, have that certain color that you need for your map. It'd be a lot easier with, like they said, an artisan table or like a easel, I think I'm thinking of. Yeah, I would like something like that.
I think I just would not know how to implement it in Minecraft for it to feel
Minecraft, not modded.
Yeah, feel vanilla.
That's what I was thinking.
That's the hardest part. Wouldn't be against doing it this way because we've seen Mojang obviously make things simpler with villager trading and all that stuff. So creating custom paintings, I just don't know how you would implement it. I guess if you wanted to be real tough on it, do one dye per pixel. So you would need a way to gather dye as resources to make it cost effective.
Yeah.
While dye is a lot easier than collecting, say, wool for a giant map art, it would still be costly to do custom paintings.
Yeah, you'd have to have some balance there. Yeah, that makes sense.
Dye farms, once you get them up and going, they're not very complicated farms, especially if you place them in the correct spot. So you can get massive amounts of dye rather quickly.
Yeah, give you more reason to make dye farms.
And I could see that. I could get behind that.
Yeah, I don't see it as being like a Microsoft Paint studio.
Correct.
Where like everything's available for you. Yeah, you'd have to work for your colors.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe there's a fill option, maybe a line option. No, it might be going too far.
Well, I'm thinking like you could have the artisan table and a hopper would be allowed to go in the side of it. So you could do a chest or a barrel just filled with dyes. And when you click the GUI, the artisan table, you'd have your paper, because I'm assuming, or maybe you would have to craft a canvas out of paper and sticks. So you would click the artisan table with your canvas. The canvas would then go on the table, and then you would have all the dye colors to the right. And you would click the dye and start doing your pixel fill in. And then as you're filling in the pixels, the dye would slowly go down in count. But because you're allowed to have a hopper and a chest attached to it, it would automatically refill the colors for you.
Yeah, and I guess there's only 3 colors you need to make every color.
That's true too, but I was using the cost method.
I
don't know, it's a really cool idea, but it's already in the game, so you'd have to implement it in a way that would change the game for the better while still making it feel vanilla.
Right. Yeah, modded is modded for a reason.
Yeah.
It's got a different feel.
Anyways, thank you guys for those comments. Those comments came from our Discord, and it's the only place you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take Casey's word for it.
Hello there, crafters. Casey Plays here. The Withering Effect Discord is a big part of the show. It's the first place the team look for listener comments. and the only place to vote in Mending Minecraft. If you've been thinking about joining for a while, now is a great time to get involved in our amazing community. Just follow the link in the show notes.
Thanks for the Discord ad, Casey. And speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week we asked you to choose between one of 3 structures for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were the iceberg, shipwreck, and village.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... iceberg. By a lot.
Yeah.
There's not much on the iceberg either.
Nope.
Relatively new. I guess not too new. But iceberg had 26 votes, shipwreck with 9, and village with 5. We haven't done shipwreck or village yet?
Nope.
Oh. A few things on the iceberg, and I mean a few. Icebergs generate in frozen oceans and deep frozen oceans. They consist primarily of packed ice and sometimes blue ice, and can be topped with I cannot talk at all. And can be topped with snow block. Icebergs generate in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, ranging from small islands and giant mountain-like icebergs. That's it. That's all. It's pretty much a biome, the icebergs.
Mm-hmm.
But the structure is the iceberg itself.
So my first thought is icebergs should have thickness to them. And by that I mean like surface level, we just have regular ice. And then mid-level, we have packed ice. And then the core would be blue ice.
Not so much top to bottom, but like on the inside.
Right. That would be a way to allow getting more blue ice. You can already mine blue ice from certain spots in the biomes, but the majority of everything's packed ice. So I liked kind of giving it the reward for spending the time getting all the way to the middle of the iceberg.
Yeah, I love the fact that they gave us these icebergs because you would have to go out and tear down ice spikes, which are pretty unique looking biome to get your packed ice.
They're very cool looking biomes.
Yeah, or you can just do, an ice farm where you craft it into packed ice. But yeah, packed ice is pretty useful. And the fact that we get these icebergs now make it way more abundant.
Yeah. My second thing was I would like sunken ships to appear more frequently around icebergs.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. History has known icebergs to sink ships, so especially the wooden ones.
Yeah. Have you ever used a blue ice?
Not often.
I don't think I've ever used it. I may have without thinking.
Yeah, it travels faster.
Mm-hmm.
So if like you're running on it, if you're boating on it, everything moves faster. If you send items across on it, it moves faster.
Right.
I remember when we heard we were getting blue ice, so we went, well, this changes transportation forever. And it really hasn't.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to think, I know there were some long nether tunnels that blue ice was used on.
Yeah. And then you got to think about, can your computer render the world in as you're going down this blue ice?
Yeah.
You're moving so fast, the rendering it's got to keep up with it.
Yeah.
And items move fast as it is on packed ice, so I needed the blue ice, at least for item transportation.
Yeah, the only thing I'm trying to remember is if an item would slide further on blue ice than it did packed ice, because then you would maybe use that in the nether and like a gold farm. If you had to move items around, you would punch it with a slime block,
and
maybe it would slide on the ice further.
Yeah, a bigger ice stream circuit, blue ice. Yeah, that could be a thing. Not too sure.
I mean, it tells a lot about how you play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care about the ice.
I'll use packed ice.
Yeah, I use packed ice all the time, but that's basically it. That's the only ice I have in my storage system right now is packed ice.
Mm-hmm. Right.
None of the other stuff's because ice melts in light levels and stuff. It's not useful for redstone.
Yeah, I've seen it in some builds and it looks good for Windows, the clear ice.
Yeah, but then you can't light it up. Well, I guess with the new light levels you can.
Yeah, it definitely helped.
But that's all I had. Should we go ahead and move into the topic?
Yeah.
Since we're ending the year, we wanted to look back, not necessarily at stuff we talked about this year, but we made these tier lists for 116 and 119, and we saved them with the thought of coming back and seeing if our ranks are still where they are now. Yeah, I want to start with 116.
Okay.
This was a top 5 things we like and top 5 dislikes from 116. I'm going to run ahead. Let's go through our dislikes first. I'm going to list my top 5 dislikes, and then I'll let you list your top 5 dislikes. And then we'll talk about if anything would change from there.
Okay.
So my top 5 dislikes, starting at 5, was shroom lights, smithing tables, twisting vines and weeping vines, soul speed, and the rarity of netherite. What do you have for your top 5 dislikes for 116?
From 5 to 1, I have non-tameable hoglins, netherwood color. 4, 3 is strider, 2 soul speed, and 1 is the fact that I have to wear gold.
Now, is there anything from your top 5 dislikes you'd like to take out?
Soul speed, I seem to use it on all my boots that I make. It's just convenient. Yeah, it does get damaged, and especially in the nether, when you have to wear the gold boots, you may as well put soul speed on them because you may come across any soul sand. Or does it work on the soul soil?
Yes. Yes, I'm pretty sure it does.
Okay. I know it doesn't slow you down like the soul sand, but yeah, I use soul speed all the time. That's one thing. Definitely take out. What about you?
I've got multiples.
Okay.
Twisting and weeping vines, I put those on the dislike because I actually said scaffolding is better. And while, true, scaffolding can do more than these vines, traveling in the nether is so much easier to grab the vines and go vertically with those and play scaffolding.
Yeah.
Not to mention, weeping vines I actually used in my last build.
I was going to say, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't use them for scaffolding at all. Like, if anything, it's a design inside of a build, you're using them with. Because rarely do I use them as scaffolding.
Yeah. Smithing tables, yeah, their functionality is kind of meh, just to put netherite on tools and armor and stuff. But their bottom texture and their top texture is so good in building things. So I've used smithing tables a ton. And shroom lights I had on there because I wanted more light sources, but not yellow.
Right.
It's obviously very orange compared to glowstone, especially now that we have the frog lights and there is a yellow frog lamp version of it.
Right.
So
a lot of yellow lights.
That seems to be a thing. I'm not a fan of it. I've used my favorite light sources to use so far are sea lanterns and the pearlescent frog lamps. The redstone lamp's still the best. The way it looks to me is one of the best. Well, and lantern, I guess. I forget about the lantern. I like having light sources. I'd love some more light sources, but I cannot discount shroom light anymore. The texture and stuff has grown on me. I like it. So yeah, it's out of there. No more dislike.
Nice.
Top 5 likes, reading through the respawn anchor, nether gold, piglin bartering, every new biome because it's a reason to explore, and netherite. How about you?
Get netherite on both of those.
Yes.
Starting at 5, I have bastions, 4 piglins, 3 the new biomes, 2 is netherite, and my number 1 is blackstone. Now, if I were to switch these up, I'd probably take blackstone off of 1.
Yeah, especially now that Deep Slate came out.
Yeah, I liked blackstone when it came out because it was a dark brick, pretty much. That's what I wanted. The Deep Slate nailed that. Blackstone, not so much. Ever since, I think it was Carl brought up that there is a little purple hue inside of it.
Yep.
I can see it.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of stinks too. I don't know if I take it off completely. It still can be pretty useful. And the fact that we get another stone, definitely a like. And I probably move bastions up. It's a challenging structure.
It is.
In the nether. And I like the fact that it's challenging. Yeah, I'd probably put that, I don't know, probably under netherite. Netherite probably be the number 1 there. Do you like the fact that we can have better tools, better armor, better everything?
Yeah. To me, netherite's that it's good and bad at the same time. I think its rarity is still a bit too rare. And I know there's crazy new ways to mine this stuff. We're constantly seeing videos where people are just coming up with 64 ancient debris out of thin air. And it takes me hours to get enough ancient debris to netherite all my stuff. Heck, on channel 64, I'm still using an iron sword because it's just not worth it. The one thing about, I should say, I like the fact that netherite armor and tools can't be burned in lava.
Yeah.
But the durability increase is what I like the most, having those extra hit points is, to me, what's worth it. But at the same time, it's not worth it for something like a sword, which barely gets used.
Yeah.
If I were to rework mine, respawn anchor would be off the list. I've used a respawn anchor once.
Yeah.
Let's see, Piglin Bartering is still very good. I'd probably put that up at number 1 over Netherite.
You also have some special mentions.
Yeah, I've used a lodestone more than I have a respawn anchor.
Yeah, so that would probably jump onto the 5.
Yeah, Pickstep is awesome. Pickstep would be on there.
Yeah.
The nether gold, I really haven't used a ton of nether gold. It's always been a thing. Like if I'm mining for quartz and ancient debris and there's gold there, I'd still get it because it is a good resource. But
you do get a good bit of it too.
Yeah, it'd probably be under special mentions. It's not a bad thing. It's just maybe it's because it's become the new norm. I don't rank it as high.
Right. You see it all the time now. It was really cool at the beginning.
Right. I would take every new biome off the list.
Really?
Mainly because the only biomes I ever see when I go into the nether is nether waste and crimson forest.
I seem to run into
the basalt deltas.
Yeah, the magma basalt deltas. And I don't know. It looks great.
Every time I go through a new portal, I'm in a crimson forest.
See, I'm usually end up in a delta.
And I don't go exploring because of the new biomes anymore. I have a spot on my storage thing for crimson wood that's empty because I don't build with it. I don't go looking for it. The only reason it'll ever get filled up is because I just kind of want to fill it up, but it's not an important enough wood for me to warrant going and getting it.
Right. Yeah.
And not to mention, like, everything in the nether now just wants to kill you.
Right.
Every biome wants you dead.
Except for striders. But even then, yeah, it's risky.
Exactly.
Jump on a strider, riding on lava. You're still there. There's still the element of danger, even with a passive mob.
But I would bring bastions up. They would make my top 5 list now because they are a very complex structure.
Yeah, the only time I see all these biomes usually is when I'm bastion hunting. It's a good time.
Right. I rarely go bastion hunting.
Yeah. It's a good way. I don't know. You can find Pickstep if you wanted. Or, gather netherite. There is netherite in some of these loot chests. Not to mention other decent items. It's been so long since 1.16 came out. And to go over this list, like all this stuff was new at one point. And now it's just all normal. This is Minecraft now.
And that's the kind of the point of this topic is to go back and take a look. Now, if we were to go to 1.19, and we can look at something that's a bit newer.
It's tier-like, not so much top 5.
It is very tier-like.
You want me to go over the bottom of my 1.19 list first?
Yeah, let's do that.
Don't have any, like, at the very bottom?
I do, and I'll put the new music disc is at the very bottom.
Okay. Do I even have that here?
It doesn't look like you even have it on your list.
Did we use 2 different lists?
Yes. Remember, because when we did the show, we were like, there's things missing. So we went back and we did a new tier list.
Yeah, I don't have that one. But I would probably have that near the bottom as well.
Yeah, second from bottom, I have Echo Shards and the Reinforced Deep Slate.
Okay. See, I think Echo Shards were looked down on because they were so rare. You only got so many. But we're starting to get more.
Yeah, the rarities not much of an issue anymore. For me, it's you can only use them to make a death compass. And I haven't done that yet.
Which can be useful.
It can be.
Yeah, I got to use it once, but I died going to go use it as I was using it. So the next death compass took me to the first death compass. Didn't take me back to...
Didn't take you to your stuff.
Right. My first death. That was bad.
I actually have the compass in my next stage, my third from bottom, or the middle stage. I put tadpoles in a bucket. Then I have Skulk, the Shriekers, Ancient City, and the Lodestone. Mainly because Ancient Cities they're not my thing. What about you? What do you have in that tier level?
Allays? Or wait, yeah, Allays at the bottom. I also have a tadpole in the bucket towards the bottom. There's the frog spawn, which are the frog eggs, right? I think it's called spawn. That's at my very bottom. Allays, I don't know if I'd move them. Maybe. I mean, they're still, I don't know. I guess I just don't know how to use the allays right as of right now. Maybe I got to play with it a little more, but.
I have allays on the level above this, and honestly, I would pull them back down.
Mm-hmm.
I thought their AI would be a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
They're very dumb creatures. Hard to control creatures.
And that's saying it nicely.
Yeah, they're cool to look at. They make fun sounds. Their art direction's brilliant. The usefulness in the game is not there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they're more of an annoyance to me than anything.
Yeah.
Because of all the noise and stuff they make.
And like you can put them on a lead. They can break it sometimes.
Yeah, how many allays do we have flying around no water that have broken leads? They just wander.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine got away once.
Yours flew stupidly into lava.
Right into it at first.
Right into it. Didn't even try to pathfind around it.
There was a lot of open cave, but he felt like that lava stream was his path. So I don't know what he was thinking.
Yep.
The tier above that, I have the sapling for the mangrove. Yeah. Both the sapling and the animation on the tree that drops. I believe that's it. The whole sapling ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
I have boats with chests and tadpole. That's like my second to last.
Yeah, I've got allay, frogs, tadpoles, the warden, root blocks, and the mangrove propagule. And I think I have the propagule there just for the tree in itself. I don't like the way mangroves grow. They're extremely hard to farm. We've seen some automatic farms for them. Not a lot.
Yeah, I think my next level I have the mangrove wood.
Yeah, the wood itself I have under Great Edition. I think it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite blocks in the game. But because it's so hard to get.
Yeah, I probably move it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't be a pain to mine and get.
Mangrove forests, I love. Or the swamps. Those are great. I have that in Great Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Mud bricks, that's all under Great Edition. I have Swift Sneak up there.
Yep, I got those up there. See, I don't have it anywhere because I have a different list. But yeah, they would definitely be up there.
Swift Sneak 3, I don't like. I think it's too fast for me, and it's probably because I'm a controller player. But Swift Sneak 2 and 1 works just fine. My big change I would make is I have at the very tippity top Skulk, specifically the Skulk that holds XP for you. I have that listed as like a game changer.
Yeah.
I haven't used that one darn time. I fully thought storing XP was going to be this huge thing. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of room it takes up is insane.
Yeah, I have all the Skulk stuff in Great Edition. But yeah, I do like the fact you get XP from the Skulk block. But my game changer was the Warden. And I know you didn't have it that high. Freaks me out every time he spawns in. I don't know, maybe if I could farm him, it won't be as bad. And I have Ancient Cities in the game changer. Definitely more challenging than the Bastion.
Well, it depends on who you ask. We're seeing videos now where people are like, hey, if you just sprint, you're so much faster than the Warden.
Oh, yeah. Remember you saying that.
Like, it's not a thing anymore. And I would have thought that was crazy 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But you watch more and more videos, it's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. If you just sprint, you can outrun the Warden.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, the sonic attack still might get you, but...
Yeah, don't get too off course.
Yeah, if you have a very open cave where the ancient city is too, you can always just take flight, and by the time your level 1 rocket slows down, you hopefully won't face plant and die.
Right. And know where you're going.
Yes.
Because, you do get that blindness effect.
Yeah, but that's all I got.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know I left some things off, but...
Is there anything from 119 that you use more than anything else?
Skulk block and mud.
Yeah, I use mud like crazy. Way more than I thought I was.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like the brick, I mean just straight up regular mud. It looks so good with gray concrete.
Yeah, the build that I'm building has a lot of skulk blocks in there, so I had to use that and mud bricks. Even the dried mud without the brick isn't a bad texture.
It's not a bad texture at all.
Mm-mm. But yeah, that's it for my list.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's show. But before Jimbo reads us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons for supporting our show. Our milk level patrons are Aerington, Aubni, BoboPlaysGames, FragileRock, Funkyllama, KCPlaysGames, Loki, Nathlech, and viperoustuna. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/thewitheringeffect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow so you never miss a future episode. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear throughout the show is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thanks so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.
So yeah, Carl, how do you like the fact that I just messed up the entire script?
Didn't even sound like a script.
It wasn't.
But you reworded it.
Yeah.
You got permission.
Yeah, Carl says we're hoping to do another public AMA/Q&A sometimes in December. Hopefully with Jimbo this time. If you guys don't remember, Jimbo slept through the last one.
No, I was at work.
Your work? I thought you slept through that. No, we thought you were sleeping through it.
Yeah, you thought I was sleeping.
And you were at work.
Yeah.